Hello, good afternoon students. Welcome sa Business Management and Organization natin. So we are now in our week 8, okay? Before we start, please have your modules with you, okay? So sa lesson 8 natin, we will be discussing managerial leadership part 2, okay? So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to discuss the managerial leadership patterns or dimensions, discuss how managers operate in a different organizational environment. So, yan yung mga objectives natin for lesson 8. Our topic, managerial leadership. Okay, so this is the continuation of our lesson 7, which is the managerial leadership part 1. Okay, we discussed already your objectives or our objectives for this lesson. Now let's start with managerial leadership pattern. So sa introduction din sa module ninyo, our organization in the Philippine setting is a product of, of course, many cultures. Marami tayong kultura, traditions, and interplay in the management practices of the manager. So, nakaka-apekto sa mga management practices ng mga managers because of our culture and our tradition. So, our orientation as a nation is autocratic. Bakit siya autocratic? Authoritarian in nature. While our training and educational background is a democratic in a character. So, yung mga Filipino, ano ba yung mga Filipino values natin that greatly affect managerial patterns or yung mga managerial practices na sinasabi natin dito or yung mga behavior niya. So, as they have to adjust to these cultural values of like for example, yung utang na loob, pakikisama, ningas pugon, manya na habit or mana-mana habit, mamaya na, di ba? Mahilig tayong mga Pilipinong magsabi ng gano'n, di ba? And many other Filipino values that affects the managerial practices of a certain manager, okay? The background of our employees is still autocratic in nature. While our organizations play tune of a little democracy. So for example, pag sa bahay ninyo nung bata ka, di ba palaging yung hindi nasusunod yung gusto mo. Ang nasusunod lang nung yung parents mo, yung sinasabi ng parents mo kasi mother and father knows best, sabi nga nila, di ba? So hindi sila na-trained sa kung ano yung gusto nila, yun yung nakukuha nila. So, kung ano yung gusto nila ng bilhin, hindi yun yung nakukuha nila. So, palagi nga yung parents, yung nasusunod. So, this home environment contributes to the making of a confused employee in the organization. So, a manager in the Philippine setting has the same orientation, di ba? Kapag other patterns of managerial leadership are still based on what they know best. Yung kung ano yung alam nilang na may magandang may dudulot sa isang organization, di ba? Tama yun? So that I knows better and many decisions shall prevail or yung decision ko will prevail. So, ako lang yung masusunod. Yung decision ko lang yung sundin natin. So, ganun yun. So, many are still hungry of power to command and get respect and they are, the boss, yung boss natin. Okay? So, another factor that fails us to swing to participative management system that we are trained more of our rights in a democratic system. So, but fails to emphasize yung mga responsibility as a very important component sa trabaho natin or of the working system in the sa organized and structured sa isang company. Okay? So our rights carries with it an equal amount of responsibilities. Siyempre naman, equal amount of responsibilities and obligations. So for example, ikaw yung manager, yan, mas malaki yung responsibility mo, mas malaki yung obligations mo, di ba? Kasi ikaw yung you are the authorized person to do such things. Okay? So the future managers of this country are beginning to widen their horizon towards, effective leadership. So they attend para maging malawak mas lalo yung kaalaman nila, they attend various trainings, of course. Training programs, both formally and informally. So, those who would like to advance in their career, nag-a-attend sila ng trainings, ng seminars, workshops, in order for them to develop their skills and improve their work as a manager, di ba? So, very few So those who would like to advance in their career are taking advanced course in management, and these are good signs that we can gradually develop a new pattern of managerial leadership. Let's say for example, ano ba yung nangyayari ngayon? So syempre consider mo rin kung ano yung nangyayari ngayon dito. Nakaka-experience tayo ng pandemic. So, what should a manager do, or what should a manager's strategy, paano mag-strategize? Kasi si manager sa kanya din naman manggagaling yung decisions kung ano yung gagawin ng isang company, ano yung magiging strategy ng isang company in order for them to overcome that conditions wherein nagkakaroon tayo ng lockdown, because of this pandemic. Okay, organizations are conducting training programs in new approaches in managing people. So this development will greatly advance the making of the new breed of managers. So that is the introduction of the managerial leadership. Now let's go to may 3 dimensions tayo sa managerial leadership. Now, let's start with the autocratic pattern. So, when you say autocratic, authoritarian yan. Palaging yung gusto niya, yung nasusunod, di ba? Authority, authoritarian, autocratic pattern na yan. Autocratic. So, sabi niya, I'm in control. So, lahat ng decisions, lahat ng gagawin nyo, lahat ng command, manggagaling sa akin. You are not welcome to give your ideas. Ako lang yung magbibigay ng decision. So, yun yung sinasabi dito sa autocratic pattern. Okay? So, under this pattern, the following are evident. So, number 1, letter A, organizational policies, plans, and programs are determined entirely by the manager. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na lahat ng policies, sa plans, sa programs, rules, na ina-identify o dinidetermine yan, sinasabi yan ng manager. Okay? So, under sa autocratic pattern. So, letter B, the leader dictates the short-term programs and future developments are kept uncertain. So, dinidictate siya ng mga programs kung ano ba yung pwede nilang i-develop. Okay? Techniques and sequences of activities are crafted by the managers. Si managers palagi yan. So, autocratic nga, authoritarian, di ba? Managers make assignments and appointments. Sila yung nagbibigay ng assignment, ng appointment sa mga people na gusto lang nila. Sa mga tao na sa tingin nila, kaya nilang gawin yung task na yun, di ba? So, next will be human relation is personal. Ayan. He praises good, he praises good work at times. Ayan. But more of criticizing when work fails to meet his standard. So, yun naman yung parang disadvantages ng isang autocratic, di ba? Yung ganda ng work mo, ayan, siyempre kapag good performance yung isang empleyado, pinipraise niya, ina-appraise niya yung performance niya. Pero kapag yung isang empleyado, he failed to do the task, in order to meet his or her standards, but he failed it, ayan, syempre, i-criticize niya yan. So, bakit ganito yung performance mo? So, ano ba yung, bakit ganito? So, papagalitan niya, di ba? So, next is, he does not participate in group activities except when demonstrating. So, hindi siya nag-participate sa mga group activities. Except when demonstrating, baka siya rin yung nagde-demonstrate, diba? So, next is he is output-oriented and less on human factor. So, wala siyang pakialam sa mga tao niya, diba? Kailangan yung productivity of their employees is very important than a human factor, diba? Yung about sa empleyado, di ba? Wala siyang pakialam doon. Basta maraming output, maraming they are productive. They produce more than what they say, or na-meet nila yung kailangan nilang quota na i-produce. So, ganun lang yung si authoritarian. Okay? So, kapag may play akong video, and let's see mamaya kapag natapos tong video lecture natin or sa yung lesson natin, may play ako the difference between the three, the autocratic and democratic and the laissez-faire. Okay? Now, let's go to democratic pattern. So, ano ba naman yung pag-democratic, di ba? We are living in a democracy. We are a democratic country, diba? Let's work together, sabi niya. So, pinipili natin kung sino yung mga magiging leader natin dito sa bansa natin, diba? So, that is an example of exercising a democratic democracy, okay? So, the works of the manager under this pattern is characterized as, ayan, letter A, encourages subordinates to participate in making policies and decisions. Ayan, not unlike sa authoritarian na siya lang yung gumagawa. Si manager lang yung gumagawa ng programs and policies, rules nila, rules and regulations. Dito sa democratic democratic pattern, ayan, ini-encourage nila yung mga subordinates nila or yung mga empleyado nila to participate in making policies and decisions. Ayan, he mobilize the human interaction, ayan, in arriving at programs and projects. So, ini-involve niya talaga yung mga empleyado niya, okay? Letter B, the group considers various alternative courses of action before making decisions. Manager preside the discussion, encourages group efforts. Ayan. Ini-encourage niya yung mga empleyado nila. Ayan. Si manager, ina-encourage niya yung mga empleyado nila na sumali sa discussions, ano ba yung mga ideas mo, di ba? Okay, kino-consider nila yung groups, ano ba yung dapat na gawin natin dito, di ba? So, siguro may booking sila, ganon, okay? Kinukuha nila yung mga ideas nila, kinukuha ni manager yung mga ideas ng kanyang mga subordinates. Okay, letter C, give freedom in selecting group or team members. Ayan, he recognizes the talents and capabilities of the members of the team. Ayan, nire-recognize na yung capabilities and talents of that yung empleyado niya or the team members. Ayan, give freedom in selecting groups or team members. So, diba? So, hindi siya yung hindi siya yung, ito yung grupo mo, dapat sila yung group mo. So, hindi yon. Binibigyan niya ng opportunity yung mga empleyado para mamili ng kanilang group members, di ba? Or team members, okay? Letter D, participates in group activities and works with the members of the team in and outside the work environment. So, nakiki-participate siya. So, hindi siya gaya ni authoritarian na wala siyang pakialam sa mga group activities. Okay? He is a human-oriented and outgoing. Ayan. So, on the go lang si manager dito sa democratic pattern. Letter E, gives more encouraging praises and comments. Ayan, praise niya yung mga empleyado niya, nagko-comment siya sa performance ng kanyang mga empleyado. And he gives recognition to good works and benevolent with praises that inspire motivation. Sino nagbibigay din siya ng inspiration or motivation sa mga empleyado niya. So, nagbibigay siya ng recognition. Yan, that is very important naman sa isang organization, di ba? As an employee, kapag ni-recognize ka naman ng boss mo, ang ganda ng performance mo, di ba? Kung sabi, ano yung mafe-feel ng isang empleyado, di ba? Magaan yung loob niya ay contributed to the company, to the success of this company, di ba? So, yun yung mafe-feel ng isang empleyado. So, it is very important to recognize the work or the performance of the employees in order for them to motivate na mas lalong ganahan sila magtrabaho sa kanilang company or sa kanilang organization. Okay? Now, let's go to the last pattern, which is the laissez-faire pattern. Ayan, I trust you. Ayan. Let be. Ayan, sabi ni laissez-faire naman, laissez-faire pattern. Sabi niya, I trust you. So, leadership practices are along this pattern. So, letter A, managers give complete freedom for group. So, bahala na kayo dyan kung anong gagawin nyo. So, sabi niya, ganun lang si manager. And individuals to make decisions after setting organizational directions. Ayan na. Sila yung mga empleyado din na nila yung magbibigay ng or gumagawa ng decisions. Bahala na kayo yan, kaya nyo na yan. Ayan. I have trust in you na magagawa nyo itong task na to. So, ganun lang si laissez-faire. Materials and information in the production of goods and services are made available. Ayan. Managers are consulted when necessary. Yun lang yung trabaho niya. Work assignments are spelled out in manuals and specifications. Managers are consulted only when necessary again. Okay, managers practice the walking about style of management where comments are made only when called for. Ayan, kapag kailangan nila ng decisions mo, bilang ano ba yung idea mo bilang isang manager, yun doon ka lang matatawag, di ba? So, kasi nga, you trust them. You can do whatever decisions you want to make. Ganun lang siya. Okay? Managers are generous with material reward. So, syempre, wala naman silang ginagawa. Yung mga empleyado mo na lang gumagawa, di ba? Syempre, ano ba na magiging hindi ka pa ba generous niyan, di ba? Okay, sa laissez-faire. So, sabi niya, I trust you. Okay? Pag naman si democratic, let's work together. Kapag naman si authoritarian, I'm in control. Ako lahat yung nakakontrol dyan. Ako yung susundin nyo. Ako yung taga-trabaho. Okay? So, those are the three dimensions, managerial dimensions, or managerial leadership pattern. Okay? Now, let's go to the determinants of managerial leadership. So, one is the managerial orientation. So, ayan. The manager himself has to be aware of what is happening in the organization. Siyempre naman, kahit naman si Mrs. Spear, dapat alam niya kung ano yung mga ano yung nangyayari within that organization. Okay? He must be observant of the conditions the employee is under their charge. Ayan. And the situations they are in. Ayan. There are forces that determine the managerial leadership style that has to be implemented. So, we can assume three important determinants. So, number one, ayan, sinabi natin kanina, the managerial orientation. So, ano ba yung dinidiscuss dito sa managerial orientation? So, the manager himself knows what he wants. So, ano ba yung gusto? Si manager daw, alam na niya kung ano yung gusto niya. Ayan, he knows his tendencies and preferences. He knows his own behavior and characteristics. He can define his own personality and his traits as a person. Okay? Letter B, he must be people-oriented and he believes in the capabilities of the persons under him. Ayan. Kapag managerial orientation, alam na niya kung ano yung mga capabilities ng kanyang mga subordinates who is under him. Ayan. Without the trust and confidence, he can't be at ease in his style of managing people. So, kapag hindi niya wala siyang trust sa kanyang mga empleyado para hindi siya at ease, diba, sa kanyang style in managing people. Next is, he must know his capability to take the risk in decision making, diba? So, in all decisions naman na ginagawa natin is may risk. Hindi natin maiiwasan yan. So, bilang isang manager, alam mo dapat kung paano i-take advantage yung risk na yan. He must have the confidence in himself to assume responsibility of, leadership. Ayan, okay? Letter D is the ability to control and supervise people at work. Ayan, yung ability mo magpag-control ng mga empleyado mo kapag nagtatrabaho sila or nagtatrabaho nga ba sila, di ba? Hindi mo alam kasi hindi mo naman lahat nakikita. Okay? The people around him must have trust and confidence in the leader as he could provide the necessary control in situations prevailing at his unit. Okay? So, the educational background and managerial training that he has strong weapons towards better leadership. So, that is all about the managerial orientation. So, ano ba dapat yung kailangang dapat gawin ng isang manager. Okay? And number 2, the behavioral patterns of subordinates. Okay? The kinds of subordinates determine yung kapag sa number 1, managerial orientation. So, it's all about the managers. Now, number 2, ano ba yung i-discuss naman natin dito yung behavioral patterns of yung mga subordinates natin. O yung mga nasa baba natin, yung mga empleyados natin. Okay? Okay, the kinds of subordinates determine the leadership style that shall be practiced. So, they are recipients of the managerial functions and the manager must know the different behavior patterns of, yung mga subordinates niya. So, it may be important for us to know the following behaviors. Yung mga nandyan sa modules natin, the theory X behavior pattern and the theory Y behavioral pattern. So when we say kapag theory X, di ba, sila yung nag-a-avoid ng task, sila yung mga empleyado na hindi nila ginagawa yung mga trabaho nila, di ba? So the manager has no choice but to be autocratic in dealing with the employee. So kapag ganito yung empleyado mo, pag theory X behavioral pattern yan, so you should maging autocratic ka, maging authoritarian ka para sundan ka nila, di ba? Sundin ka nila. Para lahat ng sasabihin mo, sinusunod nila. So, he must be able to wield a strong hand and get things going the way he sees it. So, ayan na, pag theory X behavioral pattern yung nakay empleyado mo. So, dapat maging authoritarian ka. Okay? The average human beings have an inherent dislike for work and will avoid if possible. So, ano dapat yung maging counterpart ng isang manager? Sabi ko nga, maging authoritarian ka. Okay? That is the only solution to those employees na gaya ni Theory X. Na, di ba, na-discuss na natin yan. Sa theory ni McGregor, theory X and Y, okay, syempre kapag theory X, sila yung mga matitigas yung ulo. Kapag theory Y, sila yung mga empleyado na syempre ginagawa nila yung task nila, yung trabaho nila ng maganda, di ba? So, ano ba yung dapat gawin sa mga ganyang empleyado? So, kapag sa theory X, behavioral pattern, kailangang maging autocratic ka na manager, maging authoritarian ka para sundin ka nila, para hindi sila maging kampante na gano'n na lang yung ginagawa nila, okay? So, sa number 2 naman, under the behavioral patterns, we have theory Y, behavioral patterns. So, the work groups have different values that influence the managerial leadership pattern or the managerial pattern of leadership. So, a work group that value independence and unilateral decision making can influence the manager's style to be one of involvement and participation. So, kapag ganito naman kaklaseng empleyado, subordinates meron ka, diba, most likely nagiging democratic ka, diba? Nung nakikiparticipate ka, ini-involve mo yung sarili mo as a manager, ayan. Or you are involving your employees in making decisions. So that is dapat maging democratic yung isang democratic leader, yung isang manager, okay? So, kapag theory Y behavioral pattern, yung isang empleyado, okay? The need of the individual in the organization requires an immediate response on the part of the manager. So, an employee who values job security in the workplace will require different approaches than an employee who is adventurous and seeks new areas of challenges, okay? The individual and groups have different leadership expectations and preferences on the attitudes of the managers. Okay, if an individual or groups have become accustomed to directive leadership style, the manager will fail if he uses the participative type of management. Ayan, syempre kapag yung mga empleyado mo, gustong-gusto lang nila nga, eto gawin mo, ganito, dinadirect ka lang nila, hindi magiging effective yung pagiging participative leader mo or yung pagiging democratic leader mo. You should be an authoritarian kapag yun yung gusto ng isang empleyado, di ba? So, that's how behavioral patterns of subordinates, yung sinasabi nila as a determinants of managerial leadership. Okay, and lastly, we have the working environment. So, is your working, is it conducive, yung pinagtatrabahuan mo? Baka mamaya may bigla-biglang nahuhulog dyan. Is it safe? Ayan, safe ka ba sa pinagtatrabahuan mo, di ba? So, the third element that determines the managerial leadership style is the working environment itself. Ayan, it refers to the total work in the organization and environment setting where the managers operate. So, it pertains to job structure, ayan, the amount of technology in the transformation of the transformation of goods and services or services, and the influence of the top management in, ayan, of course, decision making, ayan. So, environmental setting, job structure, okay? The directive approach is called for in the highly structured jobs where operation is highly automated. So, employees are already provided work directions through operation manuals. Ayan. So, sa working environment mo, ayan, sinusunod mo na lang yung kung ano yung nakasulat dun sa manual. Nakadepende naman, but it varies also in the managerial style. Ayan, kung democratic ka or laissez-faire ka or kung autocratic ka, okay? Pero when top management is concentrated in the implementation of established policies, guidance, and leads decision making at the managerial level, then managers become more receptive to democratic style. Okay? So that is the working environment. So the nature of leadership is that it is a situational. So ang approach ng managerial leadership is vary, naka-according yan sa three elements that the managers interact. Ayan. So, those are the determinants of managerial leadership. The managerial orientation, ayan, the behavioral patterns of subordinates, and of course, yung working environment mo. Now, let's go to the levels of management. Ayan, the different levels of management refer to the line of demarcation between various managerial positions, ayan, in the organizational structure. So these levels increase when the size of complexity of operation becomes imminent. Ayan, it determines the chain of command and the levels of authority. So they are classified in the three broad categories. Number one is we have the top management, top level management, ayan, middle level management, and lower level management. So, on the top level management, executive, sila yung CEO, ayan, executive coaching, change management, leadership, delegation, and empowerment. So, sa middle management naman, problem solving, ayan, team building, talent development, performance management, okay? And of course, we have also the lower level management, emotional intelligence. So, ito na yung mga empleyado mo, coaching for performance, okay? Let's start with the top level management. So, ano ba yung sinasabi dito? So, basically, these are the following. So, nag-prepare sila ng strategic plans and programs for the enterprise. Lay down policies and strategies to accomplish goals and objectives. Sila yung gumagawa ng policies ano yung strategy nila para makamit nila yung makamit nila yung goals nila or objectives nila within a month or 1 year, di ba? Prepare targets. Ano ba yung targets mo to target sales mo or yung budgets mo to carry out that certain strategies that you want to implement in an organization, di ba? Appoint people to carry out the program of activities. Ayan, sila yung since magaling ka dito kita ilalagay. So, ganun yun. Develop control measures to ascertain performance. And of course, develop linkages with the different business environment. And lastly, responsible to board of directors in case of corporation. Okay? So, yun yung trabaho ng top level management natin. So, ito yung mga ginagawa nila. Okay? Now, let's go to the middle management. So, their functions are principally more of human efforts. Ayan. In coordinating the following. So, letter A, we have prepare operational plans and programs in their levels of accountability and responsibility. Kasi middle management naman na sila, di ba? Let's say, for example, kapag may iba't ibang departamento, dito nagpo-full yung middle management. Okay? Supervise and coordinate the accomplishments of program activities. So, sila yung tumitingin sa mga, sila yung nagsusupervise, nag-coordinate sa mga program activities if there are. Okay? Ascertain that policies and objectives are properly disseminated, ayan, explained and interpreted to the lower management or lower level management. Ayan, sila yung nadi-disseminate ng mga informations, ng mga announcement. Ayan, and i-explain nila, i-interpret nila to the lower for the benefits of the lower management people, okay? Motivate employees in the accomplishments of assigned tasks. Ayan. Sila yung nagpo-motivate sa mga empleyado nila. Evaluate performance, of course, of the subordinates according to specific guidelines. So, sila din yung nag-i-evaluate kasi sila naman yung immediate supervisor sa mga lower level natin, lower level management natin, okay? Prepare periodic reports as required by the management. So, syempre, of course, sila din yung nag-prepare ng mga required ng mga reports nila. Okay? Nire-report nila sa top level management, okay? Now, let's go to the lower level management. So, their activities include the following. So, parang mali ito. Should be RE, okay? Now, letter A, assignments of specific tasks and work to line workers. Ayan. Supervise and control the quality of performance and output kasi sila na yung gumagawa di ba? Communicate and coordinate to the second level of management, the operational problems and appropriate recommendations. So, kumbaga sila yung first stage. Diba? Kapag ikaw yung empleyado, ikaw yung nakakakita kung ano talaga yung nangyayari, diba? Yung mga second level or yung middle level, yan, sinusupervise ka lang naman nila, diba? Ayan, nagbibigay lang naman sila ng strategies. Ayan, paano ba yung programs natin, okay? And also the top level. So, kapag sa lower level management, sila na yung nag-i-implement ng sinasabi nun sa mga nasa taas, okay? Maintain good relations with workers and motivate them to excel in work performance through training and group interventions. Attend to employee needs. Ayan, mga grievances nila and make recommendations and management for immediate solution. Okay? Provide the necessary tools, machines, and equipment in the performance of, assigned tasks. And ensure the company policies on employees' discipline are followed accordingly. Diba? Sila yung ginagawa ba ng empleyado ng ginagawa ba nila yung mga rules natin? Are they, sinusunod ba nila yung mga policies natin? So, doon, sa lower level management yan. Prepare operational reports as may be required from time to time. And lastly, we have build the good image of the company as they are in direct. Yan. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Naka-direct contact sila sa mga clients nila or sa mga customers nila. Kasi sila yung nagtatrabaho kung ano yung sinasabi ng matataas na management. Dun sa middle management and top level management. Ayan. So that is the differences of the three management level. Okay? Okay, we reached the end of our lesson. I will just play the video yung differences between the autocratic, the laissez-faire, and the leadership management style. Okay? So, any additional lang yan sa explanation natin.
We all have our own style, how we like to dress, the type of movies we enjoy, the type of car we prefer, even our communication style, or how we prefer to communicate. We often refer to different ways people communicate when they lead groups as their leadership style, and that's what this video will focus on, the style's perspective on leadership, specifically the view proposed by Kurt Lewin in 1939. Lewin has been referred to by some as the father of modern psychology. After the trait leadership perspective fell out of favor, that was the belief that leaders are born, not made, and share common traits, Lewin suggested an alternative approach. Instead of focusing on traits of leaders, he advised looking at leadership styles. He came to this conclusion after running experiments with children to see how they responded to different behaviors. Lewin identified three leadership styles: authoritarian, democratic, and laissez-faire. We'll start with authoritarian, sometimes called autocratic. This style is a very directive one. The autocratic leader has complete authority and control over the group and the decisions being made. The work is done the same way, with little room for creativity. Group members are not encouraged to provide input. Most people hold negative views of an autocratic leader, often describing them as bossy or a dictator. However, there are definitely times when the authoritative leadership style is effective. When decisions need to be made quickly, in an emergency situation, when the leader is the most knowledgeable and experienced person in the group, and when it's important to know who is in charge. It can also be appropriate when the group is languishing and not getting anything done. Sometimes someone has to step in and take charge. Beyond the obvious drawback that the authoritarian style tends to be less enjoyable from a subordinate's perspective, the lack of hearing dissenting views may result in poor decisions. If you use this style, make it clear that even though you are in charge, you respect everyone. If your team members have expertise, acknowledge it, or at the very least don't discount it, even if your decision is firm. Recognize your team's accomplishments, both as individuals and as a group, in public if possible. Refrain from criticizing in public, however. Be consistent in how you apply your decisions and interact with people, and be reliable and trustworthy. You don't have to tell your team everything, but what you do tell them should be truthful. Be very clear as to your expectations. If possible, give the reasoning behind those expectations and what your team can expect in the future. And make sure you provide your team with what they need to do the job, such as training, information, and resources. Another way to say this is be pleasant while being firm, unless there's a good reason not to soften the message. We will turn next to democratic leadership, sometimes referred to as a participative or participatory leadership style. Rather than giving directions, the leader participates in the group and encourages others to share their ideas and opinions, even though the leader may have the final say over decisions. Rather than telling, the democratic leader guides or facilitates. In Lewin's original research, decisions were made by majority rule rather than by the leader. The democratic leadership style is effective in producing more ideas, both in quantity and creativeness. Because dissenting opinions are heard, decisions may be more effective. Like the children in Lewin's original research, people tend to feel better about being members of the group and may be more committed to the project as well as to the group. An obvious drawback is that decisions take more time. Meetings can seem endless or numerous, especially if the leader isn't skilled. It won't work if your group members aren't competent or motivated. And sometimes you just don't need everyone's input or for them to feel good about the situation. When you use this style, encourage your group to communicate. You'll need to monitor the group to ensure that all participate and that no one dominates the discussion. If possible, hold your views to yourself until after others have offered theirs. Treat all ideas with respect, even if you don't agree with them. Hold off on evaluating until all ideas have been voiced. Pay attention to the discussion to make sure it doesn't wander off. An agenda will definitely help in this case. And be aware of your verbal and nonverbal communication to make sure you are using provisional language and that your facial expressions show your interest and a desire to understand. If you are the final decision maker, know when to move from a participant role to the decision maker role. And when you make your decision, explain the rationale without apology. If you are a facilitator who is helping the group make the decision, know when to call for that decision. So, encourage participation while staying on track. These first two styles, authoritarian and democratic, are discussed the most. In fact, some textbooks omit the third leadership style that Lewin proposed, the laissez-faire approach. Laissez-faire is French for allow to do. It's been called the do-nothing approach. Laissez-faire leaders use a hands-off style, letting the group members make decisions. Another way to look at it is as a delegative approach. Some suggest that someone who is a role model can end up being a laissez-faire leader, even by doing nothing, or at least not intentionally doing something. Others will emulate them. Also, consider how someone's mere presence can motivate the group. A group tends to be more productive and focused if a manager is on the premises, even if the manager does nothing but observe. It can be highly effective with highly skilled and motivated teams that, when given appropriate direction and resources at the beginning, can complete the project with minimal involvement by the leader. This style can also work well if independence is a value of the group. But if the group is neither competent nor motivated, this leadership style can be disastrous. Group members may be dissatisfied with the group's progress and the leader. Oftentimes, if a laissez-faire leader is ineffective, someone else with an authoritarian or democratic style will take over, meaning that the laissez-faire leader is a leader in name only. If you plan to use this style, make sure you provide the necessary information, background, tools, and resources in the beginning. Ensure that all know of looming deadlines. Monitor the group's progress from a distance so that you can step in if necessary. Be flexible. You may need to change leadership styles. The takeaway from this is, if you're going to be a laissez-faire leader, make sure the style is warranted and be willing to change. Processing time. Which of Lewin's 3 leadership styles do you think is the most effective? According to Lewin, the most effective leadership style was democratic, while the least effective was laissez-faire. As Lewin's research was done with children, do you think his findings can be generalized to adults? Lewin believed that we all have a dominant leadership style, the style we prefer to use. Which of these 3 styles do you think is your preferred style? You may have answered, "It depends," to this last one. That's not a surprise, as Lewin's theory was used to develop other leadership styles theories, most notably Hersey and Blanchard's situational leadership theory. So we can credit Lewin for some of the management training that is available today.
Okay, now let's go to your requirements for lesson 8. So your requirements, ayan, activity 1. True or false, write if the statement is correct and false, and if it is wrong, okay? So that is 10 points. So kapag nabasa niyo naman yung module natin, nagbasa kayo ng module, nanood kayo ng lecture natin, masasagot niyo yan, okay? And sa activity 2, identification, write the word or phrase that is referred to in the statements below. So that is 20 points. So 2 points each, yan. And sa last activity, ayan, activity 3 essay, answer in 10 to 15 sentences, 20 points 20 points. Discuss how the work environment affects leadership behavior. So, those are your, these are your activities for lesson 8. Ayan. So, if you have any questions regarding the lessons or regarding the requirements or on our previous discussions, mag-message lang kayo sa messenger ko and feel free, ayan, do not hesitate to message me, okay? So, that ends our lecture for today and have a good day and ingat palagi.